Good morning and welcome to the Hidden Gully. I'm here to share with you my absolute passion for sketchbooks and in particular handmade sketchbooks. The beauty of handmade sketchbooks is that you can put in any paper you like, you can make it any size you like, any orientation you like, and these things aren't necessarily things that you can buy commercially. So I'm going to share with you a selection of my sketchbooks and show you how sketchbooks have really enhanced my art practice. So here we go. When I first started sketchbooks, I was using A5 and A4, the usual standard spirals. And then I wanted to start exploring different papers, so I started making my own, exploring different papers. That's one of my earlier A5 books. And then I realized that I liked tan paper, so I started using tan paper in my A5 sketchbooks. And I really enjoyed that. And then I realized that I needed some clear gesso, and that was a whole other rabbit hole. But I finally came across a clear gesso. Clear gesso, by the way, is amazing because you can basically paint wet media on any paper at all, handmade paper, anything at all. So you're not limited by the paper itself. You just whack on some clear gesso. So I really love these tanned pages, and it having paper that you really like working on really inspires you, really encourages you to you just want to do more. See what this looks like on your favorite paper, see what that looks like on your favorite paper. So after this I realized that the size was a little bit limiting, so the size that I use now is this size. It's just a little bit bigger, and oh, it is amazing. I absolutely love this size. Trying to find a cool little pic here for you. Anyway, it's just free. So what I'm saying is the beauty is you can choose any size that you like. And now I've actually started putting my own artwork on the cover, which I really like. I also really like finishing sketchbooks because then you can start a new one. I bind binding your own sketchbooks is good because I bind these so that so they're expandable. So you can see I can fill that up quite a lot, which I do. I put anything and everything in my sketchbooks, and it's not going to end up like a big crocodile at the end. So I really like that as well. This is a sketchbook I've just made for a lady. She saw mine and really liked it, so I've made her one with just the tan papers, dark and light, and they're all clear gesso. Again, you can make whatever you like. And then we go on to the A4s. Actually, firstly, I might just show you these. Whenever I have a workshop like a sketchbook revival, I like to actually bind my sketchbook revival or whatever workshop it is in a found cover. And there's lots of amazing covers you can find in the op shops. Look at this one. That one was for the last year's sketchbook revival, and of course I've got the that was amazing. Yeah, so I really like using found covers as well. I've got this is my little notebook here. Yeah, this is also from another one of my own workshops that I did. So with the A4s, again, I've increased the size. So I really like, the A4s have their own purpose. I haven't got cut it. I really like the torn edges. I haven't got torn edges on this one because it was just a quick one, which I quite like. And if if it's just a quick one, you don't, worry too much about. That's a nice one, but mostly this is just a, whatever goes kind of one, and I like that. But the same as with the A5s, I've also gone, the next one I'm going to from now on use this larger size. It's just, as you can see, it's just slightly larger, and that's really nice. It just gives you that little bit extra. I really like that. And again, these ones, again, I make them so that they're expandable. And the beauty of that kind of binding, that's a view of the back shot of it. It's yet to be bound, of course. I'm I'm going to bind it in this found book. Isn't that awesome? And I made it specifically for that size because I saw that size cover and thought, yes, I want to book that size. So the beauty about this kind of binding is that it opens flat. Yay! Like the traditional bound books, they don't really open. This one hasn't been worked yet, but yeah, the traditional bound ones don't really open flat, for your sketchbooks. Yeah, so that's my new size. I'm looking forward to finishing my old one as usual, so I can start the new one. So from the A4, I've also gone larger. I went on a bit of went down rabbit hole with printing, botanicals on a gel plate, and I found that I was always chopping them down to size, and I thought, no, this is no good, because I found it was really restricting me. So I then decided that I would go much larger, and so I've gone to this size, which is amazing. So now now I can go quite large with my botanical prints. Of course, I also put in these really cool things that I find along the way because I quite like them. Or because I collect old whatever's old shit music, magazines, whatever. Yeah, and I stick those in anything interesting that I find. So being able to go much larger is really quite freeing. It's quite restrictive when you're using a sketchbook that isn't really doing it for you. So you have your own sketchbook and you make it larger or smaller, or whatever takes your fancy. Yeah, so I've also made larger ones. Maybe not less. Also, you can make specific ones. I have several that are specifically for colour studies. I've got this one is quite large. Actually, it's the last one I made. I haven't done it this way before. I'm not sure how it will hold, because all I had at the time were just single A3 pages. So I've just glue bound them like that. So, but having a larger colour study for acrylic paint is just great, because acrylic paint doesn't want to be small. So here's my study of working out my new color palette. I also have one for ink, so I can that's how I define how I labeled the book. So this one was color palette for acrylic ink, so I can refer back to these, and that's really helpful also. And I mix my own colors, so in here I've got the how I make the particular colors, so it's a really good reference book. So again, making your own designed handmade sketchbooks it really helps your art practice, I feel. And you can also bind your little artworks into sketchbooks. This was the sketchbook project in 2020 that my sister and I did, and I couldn't bear to part with them, basically. So I bound them all in a little book. So that's cool. So you can kind of look back. There's a lot of ideas in here. As you progress, what you're doing might not be great, but what's in there are ideas. And you don't want to lose those, and you want to know where to find them. And if you've got them all in sketchbooks, you know where they are. I've also got weeny little books that I've made. These are the lovelies I've just made for my nephew. I've made him two. These are traditional bound, so they'll take a little bit of using before they get a little bit loose, but they'll be good. This one is onion skin. I absolutely love onion skin paper. So he wanted little pocket books, so I've got him little, his favorite color is orange, so I've got him little orange bookmarks. So I wasn't sure if he'd like the onion skin, so of course I had to make him a second one. This one's bamboo paper, Yeah, they're tiny enough to fit in your pocket. So you can make them however you like, and you can just use what you like. It's really inspiring. You can make flip top type sizes. You can oh yeah, I made that one. I haven't actually. I didn't get far with that one. You can also, this one here is my little handbag sketchbook. And this is a very simply bound one, but it's very, very useful because I've made it so that the spine is soft and you can embrace the flow. You can take it with you. You've got a hard little you know, base there to draw on, and it's small. It's tiny enough. It's small enough to fit in your sketchbook, but you know, large enough to be able to draw on. I love it. It's great. There's also, oh, this is my little note. I have so many offcuts of my pages, so of the paper that I use, that I've just got I always have this at the side for my notes. And lastly, there's the specialty handmade papers. As I said before, I love onion skin paper. It took me a while to find some, and I wasn't, by the time I bought an onion skin journal from the Onion Skin Company, it was going to cost me about $200, and I really couldn't justify that. So I actually sourced some, and so now what I do is I use the onion skin paper for my daily journal, and I mean, listen to that, it's just beautiful. Yeah, so I start that as my warm-up every day. I write the date, I write a little blurb, I draw a little picture, and that's enough to inspire me. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them. I absolutely love them. See, that in itself just inspires me to start working. I write down ideas, and away I go. I know where to start when I get into the studio, and I just love it. This one here it's handmade paper cover, but yeah, this is wet strength tissue paper, and I found it in an op shop, and I really love the color. Yeah, so that's awesome. So you can just do, I mean, the making of the sketchbook in itself is inspiring, so that's really nice. And then you know, you can make other you know, sketchbooks. That one's made with cloth and handmade paper. And this one I love also. This one's made from handmade paper, and I used canvas and one of my botanical prints for the cover, and I just love how that feels when you hold it. That's just really lovely. Yeah. And lastly, my watercolor books. So the first one I did that's when I first got my Schmincke watercolors. I really liked that. Then the next one I decided I wanted a square one. And so oh, look at that, isn't that cool? Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. But then when I got to the end, I thought, oh, you know what, a little bit bigger would be nice. So the next one, I've gone a little bit bigger, and nearly at the end of this one, I actually put it down for a while, and I've only just picked it up again, but I'm nearly finished this one. And it's funny when you get to the end of the sketchbook, that in itself is inspiring, because you just want to fill pages so you can start the next one. In this one, what I did was I actually put different colored papers in it. You can do that too when you're experimenting. I wrote down what the papers were, and that way I could experiment with the papers and see, you know, which I liked best, which worked best. But in the end, I decided to bite the bullet. And another reason I'm also looking forward to this larger one, I've already started, couldn't help myself, is because I've used arches in all of the pages. Just decided to bite the bullet. Yeah, so I've yet to cover that one, but I'm looking forward to starting that. So if you're interested in my handmade sketchbooks, I've yet to set up a shop, but you can email me or leave me a comment and let me know what you would like. in the future, I will also be doing tutorials on bookbinding and some tips as well. So that's it from the Hidden Gully. Happy sketchbooking!